You don't want to leave your family with a financial burden when you pass, but you're being bombarded by ads for burial insurance, and it's hard to tell a solution from a scam. I'm Lorraine Suku with 1 Hour Burial Insurance. We represent nearly a dozen different insurance companies, and we help seniors in many states make good decisions about burial insurance. Here are 7 tips that will help you understand what to expect and what to watch out for when it comes to burial insurance policies, which are also called final expense policies. Tip number 1, don't worry about qualifying medically. You qualify for something. That said, the price will be lower if you are healthier. There is no medical exam with final expense policies, just a medical interview and some medical and prescription reports. The medical questions we ask are to help determine which insurance company will consider you healthier and therefore offer a better price. We're trying to get you the highest coverage amount for the lowest monthly payment, so your health is a factor in determining which policy to apply for. If you are moderately healthy or better, expect medical questions and plan to provide a list of medications you take. Since there are 14,000 medications on the market, it's really helpful if you know how to spell your prescriptions too. If you already have a life-threatening illness of the heart, lungs, kidney, liver, or brain, or have cancer or HIV/AIDS, you can still get a guaranteed issue policy with no medical questions and by providing no list of prescriptions. The only people who meet the age requirements who can't qualify for a final expense policy are those who are not mentally competent to make medical decisions on their own behalf, so someone else has power of attorney to make their medical decisions for them. Anyone else should qualify for some type of burial insurance. Tip number 2, regarding qualification, a checking or savings account is a must. All life insurance companies prefer automatic payment by electronic funds transfer from a checking or savings account at a bank located in the United States. A few companies will accept a credit card, and a few will accept a direct express card. None will accept payment from a prepaid debit card. All companies will allow you to choose the date your payment is drafted, and some can time your payment to draft immediately after your Social Security funds are deposited. The important thing to remember here is that you will need a routing number and account number for electronic funds transfer to the insurance company. I have to turn away several clients per week who are not set up to pay from a checking or savings account. Tip number 3, for final expense purposes, whole life is better than term. Various life insurance products are designed to solve different life problems, many of them temporary, like income replacement until your children are grown, or else mortgage protection while you have a mortgage balance. Since your future death is a certainty and not a temporary problem, you should choose a policy that will last until you die. At 1 Hour Burial Insurance, we sell only whole life final expense policies from many companies. What is wrong with term policies for final expense? The biggest problem is that they have monthly payment increases every 5 years, and they become so exorbitantly expensive that most seniors are forced to abandon the policy long before they die. But those who manage to pay for the policy will lose it when they turn 80, because virtually all term policies for seniors expire by age 80. Fewer than 1% of term policy owners die while their policy is in force, so the odds are overwhelming that you will no longer own it on the day you die. A whole life policy, by contrast, costs more the first few years, but the price never increases and the death benefit never decreases. The policy will not cancel unless you stop paying your monthly premium. It is a stable option that you can put into your budget and keep for the rest of your life. This graph shows the difference in monthly premiums for 2 $30,000 policies bought by 55-year-old men. The blue line represents the term policy. Notice how it goes up and up and up. The orange line represents the whole life policy. It is higher to begin with, but the price never increases, so you can budget for it until you die. Caution, Most celebrity-endorsed insurance companies, those who advertise on television, and those marketed through a retirement organization offer term final expense policies. The companies make money hand over fist, but the chances of you no longer owning the policy on the very day you need it are too significant to ignore. These policies are great for the insurance companies, but they are not great for you. Tip number 4. An independent agent who represents many companies can usually get a better price. To be clear, Agent A can't offer a better price than Agent B on the exact same policy from the same insurance company. However, because each company underwrites ages, genders, tobacco usage, and health situations differently, one who represents many companies is more likely to have a policy that rates your scenario more favorably than others. A captive agent who works for one insurance company has only that company's products to offer, and many people end up paying more than they need to by not choosing an agent who can comparison shop for them. For example, I have one company that's best for people in their 40s who need guaranteed issue insurance, another company that's best for people in their late 80s, another company that is more lenient for those with COPD and on oxygen, a different company that is best for the very obese, a couple of companies that will give cigar smokers the non-tobacco price. You get the idea. If you buy from a company that rates your health situation more strictly and puts you in a lower health classification, then you may be paying a higher rate than you would receive from a different company. Because I represent nearly a dozen insurance companies and have many different products, I have a policy for nearly everyone I speak to. The exceptions are those who fall outside the age parameters, that is, younger than 40 or older than 89, or those who do not have a checking or savings account at a United States bank. I have policies for everyone else, healthy, sick, or in between. Tip number 5, you don't need a stranger to visit your home to buy a final expense policy. Burial insurance policies can be bought over the phone with either a voice signature or an electronic signature. The whole process usually takes less than an hour and can go into effect either that day or on a date of your choosing, up to 30 days in the future, when you want your first payment to be processed. No medical exam required. Tip number 6, don't buy more than you can comfortably afford. With burial insurance, the most important thing is that you own the policy on the very day you die. If you don't, then however many days or decades you did own one is irrelevant. I encourage you to decide how much monthly payment you can comfortably afford for the rest of your life and buy something that fits your budget. Why? Because if you buy more than you can afford, then you will most likely need to drop the policy down the road, leaving you with no insurance. You can buy a different policy in the future, but it will cost more because you will be older then, and your health may also be poorer. So you may have to pay for a poorer health classification in addition to paying more for being older. I see it more often than I wish. Someone used to have a policy, but they had to drop it because they couldn't afford it. So now they're on the phone with me buying a lower death benefit than the one they lost. It would have been smarter for them to buy a lower death benefit to begin with and be able to keep the policy. If someone really wants a death benefit that will stretch their budget, I will often recommend buying 2 smaller policies instead of one larger. That way, if tough times hit in the future, they can always drop one policy and still have the other. That way they don't end up with 0. Tip number 7, don't keep your policy a secret from your family. Your family will be very grateful that you had the foresight to provide funds for your final expenses. Make sure they know that you have a final expense policy and that they know where to find the policy when it's time to file the death claim. At the very minimum, they need to know the name of the insurance company or else the agent you bought it through. You should also have discussions with your family about your wishes. The week you pass, your family will be grief-stricken and stressed by all the decisions they have to make, unless you have planned your funeral in advance or at least provided some guidance to them about your preferences. The instant quote form at onehourBurialInsurance.com will allow you to see prices from the insurance companies that offer policies in your state for your age range. The form also lets you experiment with varying death benefit amounts. It asks you to choose whether your health is excellent, decent, or poor. On the results page, you will likely see multiple prices from the same company. These are the different rate classes for differing health levels. The lowest prices are for the people in the best health. To learn how a life insurance company views your health and to get a personalized quote, contact us at 888-777-2730. I'm Lorraine Suku with 1 Hour Burial Insurance. I look forward to helping you with a policy that will provide money for your family and give you peace of mind.